Hallo und wunderschönen guten Abend. Hello and good evening. Hope you are doing all well and you survived Christmas. Hallo und guten Abend zusammen. So, wir warten jetzt mal auf alle. Not sure if I should switch to English already. Okay, Martin is there already. Ragga. Hallo und herzlich willkommen. Hallo, hallo, hallo. Hi Franzi. Martin ist schon da. Ich sehe ihn noch nicht, aber er ist schon da irgendwo. Martin? Martin? Hört man Martin? Wir warten noch. Wir gucken mal. Ich gucke mal, ob ich Ragga auch einladen kann, ob sie schon da ist hier. Ich lade sie mal ein. Hallo, hallo, hallo. Martin? I can see Ragga's there already. Hello, good evening again.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Huh?
How are you doing? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm trying to put you in my ear. Wait.
Okay, no problem. So you are already here. It's perfect. So the women are early. I think Martin, he might have issues because he sent me an invite already, but he's gone. So we have to wait for him. I tried to invite him again. Give me a second. Maybe he has to do something with his phone, or I don't know. Okay, we're gonna wait again. How was your Christmas, Ragga?
Great. I had a really, nice holiday. So I hope you did too.
I did.
Finally.
Hi, Martin.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, Martin. How was your Christmas?
It was really good. We went a short trip to Norway, so that was nice, but just a few days.
I have seen that. And did you had a lot of snow or?
Not a lot, but it was some snow, so that was nice. White Christmas is important.
Okay. Yeah, at least, yeah, I agree, because you know what? We had a bit of snow in the south of Germany a few weeks ago, and then over Christmas we had rain, and it was foggy, and it was dirty, so it wasn't really the best Christmas weather. But I mean, we've been inside most of the time, so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, then it's fine. I had some struggle, like my screen is going dark for some reason. I don't know, like, yeah.
Okay, but I can see you, and I can see Ragga as well. So from my perspective, it's fine.
Okay, good.
If you can hear me, guys, that's the most important thing. So, okay, let's start. First of all, thanks a lot for joining this call, or not call, join this live stream, I would say. Both of you have been guests in my live streams in the past already, but I would like to give you the chance to introduce yourself again, maybe a quick introduction of yourself. And I would
Everything
say,
is falling down.
Okay, that's no problem, Martin. So you don't like us. I would suggest, Ragga, that you gonna start, and then we're gonna switch over to Martin. So just give us a quick introduction of yourself, and then we head over to you, Martin.
Okay. My name is Ragnhildur Haralsdóttir. You're better known as Ragga on Instagram.
Ragga.
Ragga. I live in Iceland, in Selfoss, a small town, maybe 15 kilometers away from Reykjavik. I train horses, sell horses. I just work with horses all day. So yeah, I'm from a small town near Reykjavik called Mosfellsbær that I grew up, and I started young riding Icelandic horses, and yeah, it has been my life since then, since I was born almost.
It's a dream job of every young girl. Every horse-addicted girl. Okay, thanks a lot. So, Martin, it's your turn.
Yes, I'm Martin Rønnestad, Norwegian guy living in Germany, pursuing the horse dream. Of course, Germany is not Iceland, but from the countries here abroad, it's a good horse country to be in, and
Good to know.
yeah, exactly. And I think I've been a part of the Norwegian national team since 2010. And yeah, just a few times Norwegian champion and participated at World Championship, and now working professionally with horses and teaching a lot.
I mean, guys, so listeners, if you want to learn more about those two people here, just head over to their accounts and watch their videos and see their posts. I think you can see a lot already or learn already a lot about them, or I can link you the live streams we did in the past as well. But today we want to talk about tölt. And I asked you guys because, I mean, for me personally, you are tölt experts somehow. This is why I invited you, and I think you both fit quite well together in a live stream. I hope you like each other at least a bit. Hi, Martin. Now we had a black screen again.
Yeah, it's really strange. Yeah, sorry.
No, but it's fine. We can hear you still. So let's talk about tölt. Maybe we can start with the question, what is tölt? For the people who might not know what tölt really is, and maybe as well people can learn a lot who own an Icelandic horse and didn't really thought about it. So it's up to you who's gonna start.
Ladies first, I should say, or?
It's fine by me. I mean, tölt is four-beaded gait without any air. The horse has either one or two legs at the same, yeah, exactly.
One or two.
But yeah, it's really smooth to sit, and it's an amazing gait, and it's really unique. And the Icelandic horse, I think, is the only one that has this four-beaded tölt. I think some of them has this walking, and how do you say? Yeah, the walk is four-beaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not sure, but I think the Icelandic horse is unique with the tölt. They're smooth and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's some horses that also got tölt, but yes, like Ragga said, I think the biggest change from the two basic gaits, trot and canter, is that you don't have any suspension, so it's really nice to sit, comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Agree. Yeah.
But of course, with some of the horses that Ragga is riding and that I'm riding as well, they have a lot of movement. So even if it's a smooth gait to sit on, I would say you still need some core muscles to sit right on the horses, even if you're riding tölt.
Yeah, I agree.
Agree as well. So it depends on the horse, but at least it should be quite smooth, at least smoother than trot, for example.
Yeah.
Or canter.
Yeah, if you have a worse time riding tölt than trot, then maybe we have to look at the beat.
That's true. Good point, Martin. So you mentioned already a few words how a good tölt can look like or could be like. What's the perfect tölt for you guys? So maybe Martin, you're gonna start now, and then it's different.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a bit weird in that way because, of course, I love to ride a smooth, flowing, forward-going tölt. That's a lot of fun, and when you're riding out, that's what you want. But for me, a really nice tölt is a little bit more like the dancing tölt. I really enjoy riding slow and duty tölt. Yeah, in that way, to ride the tölt that I can ride in T2, I really like. When you can ride the slow tölt, you can adapt it a little bit to the strength of your horse, and the first section you can ride yeah, just the beauty tölt, like where you think the horse is in the best balance and using his body correctly. So yeah, that's my dream tölt a little bit more. Yeah, dancing. They're like my old stallion Svartur, which didn't have a lot of speed. Of course, it's also horses that are able to dance in slow and still go a really good faster. Like for example, some horses of Ragga. But for me, I really enjoyed riding tölt on my old Svartur.
It's so cool to hear the different perspectives of you guys. I mean, Martin, you told me that already in the past. So I'm curious, Ragga, what's about you? How does a perfect tölt for you look like and feel like?
Have you seen Valkur? He's the perfect one.
I do. Okay, you have to describe it because we can't see it right now.
Yeah, I know. The perfect tölt for me, I agree a lot what Martin was saying, because I want to feel the horse like it moves the whole body under me. You know, when you're riding this, you know, not so much movement, like in an Icelandic trip, you want to sit like quietly and just fast and enjoying your nature. That's also fun. But I rather want them to, you know, have more, you know, movements, and you feel like the whole body of the horse is moving under you. And of course that, you know, it's collected, it's like smooth, four-beated. And I actually want them to be able to go slow and fast, and to be able to speed up and slow down and have it like really fluently. Yeah. And I feel I have this, everything of this, what I'm describing, I have in Valkur. So from the nature, he has this extreme quality, you know, to have, he's always four-beated. He's never mixing the beat in any, you know, not two-beating or trotty, nothing like that. So yeah, I think, but I agree with Martin. I think it's, you know, it's a really good feeling to sit on a, you know, slow, collected tölt. You really feel the horse is carrying you, you know, self-carried. That's really important.
Okay, so now just the people have to see what the perfect tölt looks like for you. So you have to share a video after this live stream with everyone. Okay, so thanks a lot. It's really interesting. I mean, Ragga, what you described sounds to me like the really perfect tölt, and I hope that everybody will be able or got the chance once in his life or her life to enjoy this kind of tölt horse, because it's one of a kind experience, I think.
Yeah, it is.
The next question is, I mean, so the focus is on tölt today, obviously. What does tölt mean? Is tölt always the same on each horse? Is good tölt always the same? So is a four-gaiter, has a four-gaiter the same tölt like a five-gaiter? And is like a horse like Valkur, has he the same good tölt quality, or has he the same like a riding horse? I hope you understand the question, but does tölt really mean tölt?
Of course, like I think that's also the challenging part with the riding tölt, that the horses are so very different. Like riding tölt on one horse is not like riding tölt on another horse. I think there the basic gaits are much more like you can ride much more in the same way on different horses with the basic gaits than what you can with tölt. I don't know what Ragga is thinking, but
yeah, no, I mean, I agree with it. They have, you know, of course, tölt is always tölt. It's four-beated and should be clean. So in that case, it should be, you know, similar. But of course, the horse has, you know, different movements. They have different, like some horses are tölting more with the whole body. Others are moving their legs, even though they are moving the legs in the right, like, beat. They can be a little bit stiffer in the body. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So of course we have a lot of like different styles in tölt, but tölt should always be tölt. You know, it should always be four-beated. It's never, you know.
So
yeah,
at the end,
of course, tölt is tölt, and but I exactly like in the way like you said in tölt you can have a trot, like a horse that is going more to the trotty side. You can have a horse that is going more to the pacey side, and like in trot, like you can't get too much two beat or too much suspension. Like you can get it four beated, but like in tölt you can. Yeah, I think it's more challenging to ride a good tölt, but tölt is tölt.
Okay, this brings me to the next question. I mean, Martin, you started a bit with that already. What problems could a horse have in tölt? So what's the correct tölt and what might not be the correct tölt anymore? So you mentioned the tölt has to be four beated, then it's tölt. So when it's not tölt anymore?
Should I start or you?
I will let Ragga start this time.
Of course, we can have, like Martin mentioned before, we can have trotty tölt and we can have pacey tölt. And I think for me, what was the question again? Did you ask me how?
Yeah, no, not yet. So what problems could we have in tölt? Or could a horse have in tölt?
I think, these are the main beat problems. Like even they can get a little bit trotty or they can get a little bit pacey. And normally I think these problems are related to the top line of the horse. Because if the top line is not there, then the horse is not working correctly. And then you get either pacey or trotty.
It sounds quite easy to me.
Yeah.
Martin, anything to add about the problems? Could we have further problems in tölt? Quite typical problems, maybe.
I mean, it's actually a lot about just what Ragga said, but then when we start to go on the difficult part, then maybe we can say we can have a clear beated tölt, but still don't have the movement through, like the real movement through the back or something. We can see a stiff tail even if the beat is quite clear beated. But then we are talking about like when Ragga is going to be the Icelandic champion again, then we can talk about that for the final marks. But apart from that, it's what Ragga said.
Yeah.
What's about the form of a horse then? Is this called a problem maybe as well? So if the head is away.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the top line, you know.
Yeah, okay.
The top line should be like long, and then of course the horse is round.
Yeah,
it should not be up with his head or, you know, looking into the rider's eyes.
Okay, so so let's go a little bit deeper into this. So where does the problems come from? So you mentioned the top line, but how can we solve those problems then? Trotty or pacey tölt?
Yes. So of course, like it depends also, because like a pacey tölt is not always from the same issue, like I see it, because it can be a horse that is just, you know, stiff. Like you can have the more collection in it and using the hind legs more, and the top line is there, but it can still be stiff, like, you know, not moving through the body, and then the horse can be still a little bit pacey. And then you have horses that are just on the forehand and they get pacey from that, or just, you know, bad top line, falling on the forehand and not carrying themselves correctly.
Okay.
And then yeah.
No, go ahead, Martin.
No,
go ahead.
No worries. No, Ragga can take it over.
No, I mean, I agree with Martin, and I think for me it is really simple that if you don't have the top line up, I mean, the top line can be up and it can be down. And I don't know if people know the difference. If the top line is up, the horse is up in the shoulders, it's with a round neck, and it's working from behind, and it's carrying itself. So then, at least for me, I don't have problems in the tölt. It doesn't matter if I'm going like a little bit slower or faster or more collected. If the top line is like relaxed and long, you know, you have the right beat. So, but of course we can define it, like Martin are saying, you know, in many ways. And we have, of course, different horses that, you know, but for me, I mean, it sounds really easy, but not.
It sounds really easy. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean, just go ahead, ride the horses.
But of course, it's a lot of work to get there.
Yeah.
So
And like we said, as we can hear now as well in tölt, of course, yeah, a good thing would be working on a good top line. Then you have a better chance of a good beat.
yeah.
But also from there you have like different kind of issues. So like you can say that, okay, this is just what you have to do to get that fixed. Like what you can say is in general with trotty horses, you need the hind legs to come more under, and usually on those horses you need more collection to get them away from being trotty. And a really strong top line on those horses because they throw the back a little bit easier away. And then, as I said, with the pacey horses, some of them you just actually had to ride through collection to make a good bit, and some of them you have to make more supple and loosen up a bit more. And there, of course, you have different exercises. Like I would say, like a good shoulder in can help you with many things. A good shoulder in is a collecting exercise, but can also be make the horse really supple. So like shoulder in is like one of my favorite exercises because I use it for so many different problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds really good. Ragga, you want to add something?
No, I just completely agree with what Martin was saying, and I agree.
So okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like, of course, now it's maybe it would be even more interesting with having a little bit more contrast from the riders. But I believe both me and Ragga, we like to like train our horses a little bit more. We like to ride in the dressage arena and be a little bit nerdy with those stuff. And and yeah, that's just a fact. And I think we just also agree, like with a lot of, even though you don't have to ride dressage, but you ride the dressage exercises to just build up your horse, make it stronger, make it more rideable, and use the exercises for what's it worth. Making your horse more supple, using the exercise to collect your horse more without getting too much tension. So
yeah. So I mean, you mentioned one exercise like shoulder in, which can help to build a better top line. Are there other exercises? I mean, dressage in general, of course. I know you both are using it a lot in training, but are there exercises you would suggest other people to use in their training? Maybe easier exercises. Are there easier exercises they can use in training?
I will let Ragga start.
You want me to answer?
Yeah, this is an easy question, guys.
Yeah, sorry. I think just all lateral, exercises will help you to get the horse more flexible in the body, will help you to get better quality, because then you have the horse working more from behind, you get it more flexible in the body, it comes like more smoother to the bit and more round, carrying, everything will help. So shoulder in, ramler, hindquarters in, a half pass. Of course, we are talking about a little bit more, harder exercises, but you asked about something easier. I mean, to ride a circle, it can help because then you're already starting to have the bending. So
and only a horse which can go in the correct bending is able to use the hind legs in a correct way, isn't it like that?
Yeah, like if your horse is going on the circle and actually don't have a clue how to go on the circle, is falling on the inside shoulder, or falling out in the outside shoulder, or just putting the hind out and keeping the body straight, then of course you have some issues there. So actually to ride the horse correctly bended on a circle is a good start, but not always so easy as well.
No, it's not. It's not. I can agree.
But riding isn't easy.
And I mean, the horse needs to learn all these basics yield from the leg, and to be able to hop and everything, to be able to ride a good circle. So it's, yeah.
Is it as well needed if people only want to ride in the forest?
Like, it depends on what you want to do in the forest. If you want to just ride, if you're happy with riding piggy pace in the forest, which some people actually are, and which is also okay, then no, you don't need it. But I think it depends really on your horse. Some horses, they just have this good beat in tölt, and if you just want to ride out in the forest and never go to competition, then you don't need it with all of them. But it really depends on what type of tölt your horse got, and I think there we're coming a lot into the question with horse and rider. The riders, they have to know what they want, and they have to find the right horse for that. And that's as a teacher as well, you see a lot of combination. You want to help all of them, and you do your best, and sometimes we can reach the goal. But sometimes I also had to tell them, like, for what you want, you don't have the right horse. You can always try to improve and get in that direction, but if to get there you need to ride like this and this, and you don't want to ride like that. So you have to find a horse that fits to what you want to do, to your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was like going a little bit out of away from what we were talking about. But
but that's fine.
Mine, which is very important, because you asked, do they have to do it when they're riding out, just tölting?
Yeah, that's really interesting, and I think it's important to set goals. Only you have to define goals, like you mentioned, and then you have to look at your goals, and is this horse fitting to my goals?
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely agree. Ragga, anything to add? I can't remember my question.
I remember. No, I just wanted to add maybe that you can do all these exercises in the forest. If you teach the horse the exercises, you can use them wherever you are riding. You don't have to be in, a riding arena. You can just do it
outside. Yeah, that's
outside
true.
in the nature. So, and that can be a lot of challenging, and a lot of fun as well. So I try to mix it up a lot when we have good weather and good ground, and then I use all these things also outside.
Yeah, and that's really true. Of course, you can do that. That's also very important to have.
Yeah, perfect. We have some questions here in the chat, so I would like to switch to those. And this one question is fitting very well into what we're just talking about. What's your tips in the child which is pacey because of not enough energy? So the child, this person knows that the child is pacey due to not enough energy. What should she do? What could she do?
She has not enough energy, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so the horse is a little bit lazy.
Yep. This is what I think.
I think if do you want me to start?
Go on. You're already on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Your turn.
I think what I would start with, of course, it's always hard to say without seeing the horse, but I would start with that the horse responds to the lag more quicker and more responsive. So I think that would be the main goal to begin with, and then start to bring the collection in, and never do it at the same time. Just that the horse answers the lag, and that the horse answers the collection. So, and then of course add all the other work that we have been talking about. But I think if the horse is not responding to the lag, and if the horse is lazy, it's never working from behind. So like we talked about 2 weeks ago or something, you have to ride forward to get the collection. But of course, it's not enough just to ride forward. You always have to add the collection, to bring the horse under you as well. So it's,
Very good point. So people, if you want to learn more about that, just visit our live stream. I'm curious what you're gonna answer, Martin.
No, I totally agree with what Ragga is saying, and through the work that she explains, then we'll get quicker hind legs, because probably that horse also, is just too slow in the hind legs. And then for doing what Ragga said, you will get quicker hind legs, and as we talked about last time, when the horse is quicker in the hind legs, changing hind legs more often, it's not that challenging for it to carry itself. If the hind legs are really slow, it has to carry a lot of weight on one leg for a long time, and then they end up giving up and falling more on the forehand. So actually, with having the quicker hind leg, they feel that it's easier to carry themselves. But through the work that Ragga explained, then you get that.
It's so interesting. There are so many things you already talked about. So yeah, Martin, we talked about it in our last live stream a bit about that. And one more thing to add from my side. Curious what you're going to say about it. What's about, is this a possibility that the horse is lazy? Let's call it lazy, with not so much energy, that it doesn't have enough, or it's not strong enough to do so. So maybe only go back to walk, then make it faster in the hind legs, and don't tölt for a too long period. Is it possible to start like that, or does it not make sense?
Of course, that's also like working with the motivation of the horse, and of course, it doesn't matter what you have to do. If you feel that your horse is struggling a little bit, then make sure that you give them space and time to recover in between. So I think that's a matter of motivation for the horse, and then yes, I agree.
Okay, Ragga?
If I understand your question right, did you mean to give them a break in between, or to work them in the walk as well?
For example, give them a break in between, or just start in walk to make it easier for the horse.
I think it's really important, like Martin said, that when the horse works well under you, that you don't do it for too long and then you go up to walk and give the horse a break. It's really important for the muscles to stretch and relax a little bit in between. So we don't overwork them, when they are starting also to build up the mental, they get positive to the, exactly. But I think also, like, I work a lot if I have a lazy horse, I work a lot in the walk as well. Of course, they don't need as much energy to it. Like in the walk, I do a little bit speed changes, and also transition tölt up to tölt and then up to walk again. So all these exercises brings more, the hindquarters more under, the hindquarters more active, because you're always like, telling the horse to go a little bit faster in the walk and then collect them again. So of course you can work a lot in the walk, and I would suggest that you start there, of course. To get it a little bit.
For sure. And just everyone, like, listen up. Ragga was saying up to the walk, like down to the walk. She was saying up to the walk. So like ride the transition also, I was about to say down to walk, but up to walk, that's really a good part.
Yeah.
So Martin is going to using this word from now on in his riding lesson. So listen very well.
It's so true. Like I can very often say down to walk myself, and we do it on competitions as well. But the meaning of up to walk is actually really good. Like when you're able to do the transition to walk, and you have one step walk, but then you're ready to tölt again, then you're really good.
Yeah, and it's like I have been
very inspiring.
Yeah, I have been trained this way from my riding instructor. I always ride up to walk, and people are like, "What? What did you say? It's not down to walk." So I think we need to change this. Like Martin is saying, we need to change this, that people start to talk about it up to walk. But when the horse is up to walk and it's light and collected, then it can stretch and relax. But these 2, 3, 4 steps into the walk needs to be like collective and active.
We're going to start a campaign in social media. Up to walk.
But that was also actually like we had some questions here as well, and I think that's also a really good one. Like, how does the perfect preparation for tölt look like? how do I prepare the
Yep.
horse? I think that's actually a really good question, because that's like, you know, riding good transitions makes your gait much better and makes it just easier for you to ride it. There as well, you have horses when you ride into tölt that you really need them in between your aids to have them work correctly. And I think always what you would like to is to just imagine this, that you are able to keep the top line in the transition. Of course, it's different stages on different horses. That you can't start with all the horses and say like, I want to ride perfectly into tölt. But if you're like in Norwegian, I say like tasse tölt. It's like means like a really like a tölt without movements. So if you, those good transitions are often a little bit easier if you think that you don't like the horse should be up in the shoulder but not starting to lift high on the front legs, and this way it's easier to keep the top line in the transition. If you don't go like too much energy right away and say like up, but you know, you want to feel that the back is there, and like thinking about more of the tölt bit, but then like don't go all out for the movements from the first step. Like that's a good preparation for me at least.
Okay.
Then Ragga.
No, I just agree with everything he was saying, so I have nothing more to add.
Okay, so this,
no.
Martin?
So of course a good preparation, what should we say? Like I think also a good thing is like know how much collection your horse needs for tölt, because that's also very different. We have horses with a lot of natural tölt. They don't need a lot of collection. You just have to find like, okay, there's the tölt, so you collect to get that, and then just to feel like what I said, like having this top line. If you are able to go in a little bit, this longer top line into tölt and done with not too much lifting in the first steps, then that's good training for the transitions to tölt.
So you were talking about a bit that the shoulder has to be high, but the neck could be quite low. Are we now talking about forward and down already, or not?
Yeah, like I would say that also depends a little bit on the horse as well and its balance. I think when we talk about shape and the form of the horses, I think it's very individual. So, but if you would like say that, at least like a roundness and not too short in the neck, and then it's a little bit, you know, different from horse to horse where they are working the best with the back. I feel like some horses you can ride deeper, and that's where they are really working good with the back. And some horses you shouldn't take them too deep, because sometimes you just lose balance there or something. I think shape and form, it's so individual. So I don't like to say like that's the shape you should ride, or that's because it's changing so much from horse to horse. Like that's my experience at least.
Yeah, no, but that's really good, and I think it's extremely important that people understand that horses are different. And I mean, you're gonna give tips right here, but if they really want tips from you guys, they have to connect with you and get a riding lesson or something like that. But I mean, we can talk about that and raise awareness with what we are doing right here. I got a really good question here as well in the comments. I mean, there are a lot of questions. I prepared a lot of questions as well, so we probably won't get through all the questions. But do you have tips for tense tölt? We didn't talk about that too much until now.
Like we were a little bit into it. But yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
You mean tense in the body or tense in the mind?
Yeah, that's also different.
Good question. Good question.
But I can maybe describe a little bit both. If the horse is tensed in the body, then of course you have some stiffness, and that can be from like too short neck, You know, maybe the rider is pulling the reins too much, not riding enough with the seat. I would say that you should search for longer neck. You should have the horse like working from behind with all these exercises that we have talked about: shoulder in, ride a circle, halt pass, all these like lateral exercises. Yeah, and I think, you know, I always write these small speed changes. I'm always thinking about collecting or riding a little bit forward. You don't always see it if I'm riding it, but I'm always like, I just don't sit always on the same speed. I'm activating the horse and then collecting a little bit. And then I think you get, you know, you can get longer neck, and then you are always searching for slower steps, longer steps through this work. So of course it's really hard to explain in few words. But yeah, I think that's mainly what I would do with a tense body. And I think I would do a little bit similar to the tense mind. I think horses start to relax when you have them more between the eights, and when it starts to have the neck longer, it starts to feel more comfortable. So I think the horse just needs to trust the eights better from the rider, you know, that the rider is more organized what it is asking to the horse. You know what I mean? I think the horses get many times tensed because the rider is just doing something. They have no like system going on.
Yeah,
for sure. And like, I just want to add up here as well, to the other question with the preparation, because one is also asked, do my knees have to be closed pressing while doing the transition from walk to tölt? And I think that's just also very interesting. And then we come into the part with the tension again, like, because of course in a good transition, or when you're riding the horse in general, I always try to imagine that, you know, my seat has to reflect what I want from the horse. If I want more tension, like the positive tension in the top line, then of course I try to bring that in with my seat. If I have a horse that is more tense and not moving through the back, I try to make my body soft for the horse, so that I motivate the horse to move its body, its back, and that's like a really important part for the transitions as well. And just from what Ragga now was saying, with a tense horse, like let your seat reflect what you're asking from the horse.
Yeah, this is a good point.
Yeah.
So the people have to imagine what should the horse look like under me, and then doing the same. It sounds so easy, but it's not. I can tell you. And you probably can tell the people more about it, that it's super difficult. And but yeah, you are the expert. So I think it's a really good tip to implement this into the daily training, to focus as well on the rider.
Yeah, what are you telling your horse with your body? It's not about what you just do with your leg or what you're doing with the rein, but like, what are you telling your horse with your body? I think that's really, really important. And I think that's where we had to start with a lot of riding.
Yeah, I mean, I had the question prepared. You guys have seen that. What problems could a rider have in tölt? And how can we solve those problems? And I think, we already mentioned that, or you guys just talked about it, that the seat is something really, really important when we're going to talk about tölt. Do you want to mention or say something more about the seat, or are we okay to keep it like this?
No, I think we can go on forever with everything, but we have to try not making it too complicated, and actually so that people also remember what we are saying.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think one part is actually also just really interesting here, because the question with the closed knees, or like press with the knees, like I would say like the upper leg, and I think that's very different from different riders, how they use their upper legs. I'm not totally sure, but of course I know that Ragga is training a lot with Borba, And I think he's quite strict that you're not allowed to do too much with your upper leg. Or am I wrong, Ragga?
It's not
That's getting interesting.
we are allowed to use our upper leg. It's more I think it's more about not mixing it up with we have to be really consequent what we are using if we want to collect or ride forward. So in the collection we always think like up with the upper body, like first we sit up, and that's of course the 8 we want to like end up with. The horse, you know, starts to collect when we are sitting up. But if not, then a little bit squeezing the upper leg, and then the rein comes, you know, so it's a little bit into the collection like that.
Yeah.
So I think at least he talked, you know, we are not always talking about the upper leg, but I do it like that. At least I hope I'm allowed.
I would say like that's the same thing. That's the same thing. I would do like I also use my upper legs, and for example in speed changes I use my upper leg when I'm slowing down.
Yeah.
And
I think always in the collection I squeeze it a little bit, so it's
exactly. But there it's also an interesting point, because I think in tölt you can use that really well. But the issue comes maybe when you're riding, for example, trot. Like if you're doing a sitting trot and start to squeeze too much with your upper legs, you will start to bounce in the saddle. So like you will make the horse tense through that, because you will bounce and disturb the horse. So in trot you have to be like a little bit careful with how you use your upper leg. But in tölt you can use it really well. I use a lot of upper leg when riding tölt.
Okay, but so the question, I couldn't see the question because you had too many questions.
If you should use it in your transition, and I think we both say yes. You should use your upper leg in transition into tölt.
Okay, but wasn't there a question with the knee as well? Squeeze the knee, or was it the upper leg?
I took it into saying the upper leg instead of just the knee. So because I think just the knees, for me, it's more correctly to say upper leg than just the knees.
Okay, we leave it like it is because we have too many questions here. I would like to let you guys answer this question as well, because I can imagine that a lot of people are asking themselves this question. How do I keep the horse from stretching and losing the form in loose rein trot?
Yes, I was talking a lot now, so I don't know if anyone wants to.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I would not say that I'm an expert in T2. I'm not competed that much in it, but I write a lot of T2 exercises in my training, because I think searching for T2, it gets the horse more self-carrying. So my exercises for T2 is like that I want the horse to be round. I want the horse like to work under me in not too fast tempo. It's a little bit working tempo more. And that the horse just stays there, like with the roundness and with the beat and with the shoulders up. And then when I start to, I don't give the rein completely like in the competition. I start to give a little bit. And then when I'm teaching the horse these exercises, they start to fall apart, like this question is about. And then my first thing is that I sit up, and then I squeeze the leg, and then I correct with the rein. So I want the horse, if the horse starts to move the head up, and if the horse starts to move a little bit faster or lose the balance in the front, I do this. And from, you know, if you use this exercise and do it like I'm telling you, it starts to work more and more just with your seat, and then you're able to have the more and more loose rein. You understand?
Yeah, now we're again back at the seat problem.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I think it's really good that we're coming a lot into the seat, because to be honest, I think that's where we have to go a long way, like with body control and using our seat correctly.
Yeah, I agree.
Martin, you want to add something?
So
I'm sure.
If I'm finishing this before, I would say that, you know, you start to do this with your horse in this working tempo, and then it's much easier to start to push it more, like in competition. If you want to ride a little bit more active loose rein, Then the horse knows this working tempo, and then you can start to push a little bit and have it more like with more movements, and but that the horse is always able, that you can just be in a working tempo tölt and it's carrying itself with a round neck and not losing the form. It's a really good exercise.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, for sure. I think like if you do that, you will build up your horse quite well. And of course, it's there as well. It's a very it's a specific question with the loose rein, but there as well you also got a lot of different problems on the loose rein. So what is the reason for your problem? But yeah, for sure, like in on the loose rein, like I like to ride T2 on a horse that got talent for T2. So if we are talking about like really a horse that you want to ride competition on the loose rein, and there, when I'm riding the T2 horses, I'm actually looking at a lot like just working on the trust there, actually, that they don't get stressed from me, that they are well aware of my aids, like Ragga said, and then I just try to figure out what's the easy speed for this horse to carry itself. Some horses are like, of course, if you do the working tempo part, what Ragga said, you will build up your horse to be stronger. But if we just try to make it like easier or like more competition specific, then it's important to find the speed where your horse is in the best balance, is carrying itself in the best way. Some horses need to go more slow, some horses you have to ride more forward. And yeah, then of course to keep them more up, like if you have a horse that is falling a lot down on the loose rein, then never let it go too long on the loose rein. I think that's like my easiest suggestion for that. Like, don't let it go too long on the loose rein. Like, correct it like then more often. It's not wrong to correct it more often. Just like try to get it to react to your aids, like Ragga said, so that correct it. It's not wrong to correct it in the training. And then also, like, if the horse is falling, like not staying up for you on the loose rein, then also just pick up the rein sometimes, ride it like then a little bit that it's carrying itself better. And when it's carrying itself better, then give the rein a little bit again. And when it gets bad, then pick it up again. Like, to be super good in T2, it doesn't mean that you have to ride like 6 rounds on the loose rein on the whole track.
I mean, you both gave really good tips, and for me personally, T2 is something super difficult. And I mean, we have to imagine to be a horse, and probably for myself, if I would be a horse, it would be difficult for me to understand what the rider wants to say. And I mean, this is why the aids can help a lot. Again, the seat is super important, and if the horse understands the seat aid very well, it's probably much more easier for the horse than only understand the rein aid, which is not there in T2, at least in the long rein part. So yeah, really, really good tips from you guys. Okay, we have 7 minutes left.
Yeah, I know, but I just had to. We had a question here regarding the knees, or like the upper leg, which I would say, and I just because we were on that and had a follow-up question on it, I would like to answer that. If you squeeze your knee, will it not stop the horse from moving under you in a supple way and push your seat back? So the thing is, like, you want a supple horse, but what we're talking about, like, sometimes you need to bring tension into your horse, like positive tension into your horse. It's not always about just getting as loose as possible. Sometimes, when you are riding, it's working out, you need to use your body in the correct way. You need some kind of tension to carry a rider. So what we are talking about with using your upper leg is to bring some kind of this positive tension, and actually also that horse just knows that it's a little bit of bringing back coming into collection. And collection, we want the horses to stay supple, but we need some kind of positive tension. So of course you can overdo it with your upper legs, and you can push yourself out of the saddle with squeezing too much. But that's like we're not talking about like squeezing your way out of the saddle, but I do really know. I do really understand.
I love this discussion.
We have done that as well, and I think it's a really good question, a follow-up question from this person, and I thought it was like important to answer it because it's like, doesn't it stop your horse from being supple? And yes, if you overdo it, if you use it wrong, then yes, because you bring tension in with doing that. But in some way, you need tension, but a positive tension.
It's so interesting because we probably can discuss this forever, because there are so many different kind of people who all got a different seat, and some are using their upper leg, some of them are not using their leg at all. So it's so difficult, and I try to imagine the people who are squeezing too much with the leg. Maybe I'm doing that. I don't know. But it's really interesting, and yeah, maybe we should do another live stream about tölt again. Like all these questions. Anything else to this upper leg knee thing you guys want to say?
I'm done with my part.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have said a lot, but like Martin said, we can talk like all night about it. So yeah.
Yep.
I think we have said the most important things. But I think maybe if I should add one quick thing in the end about it, it should be that the rider should be clear when it's using the leg and when it should be quiet.
Yeah.
So that's also, so the rider is not squeezing all the time, then it gets a little bit like.
Very good suggestion. But I mean, the upper leg couldn't be like not having any tension, because then the leg is like this all the time. This is not correct as well. So it's really difficult. But we're not talking about only the seat.
Yeah, and we can go into saddles and everything, because the saddle is really important to bring the legs into, yeah.
Yeah,
I think you guys could discuss this the saddle thing as well forever. Okay, now we have only 3 minutes left. Do you have any question you have seen in the chat box, or from my questions you would like to answer as the last question? Or
they're a little bit going away at my phone, so I don't see them so well. Yeah.
It's one.
I would let Martin can choose.
Okay. It's in German. Is a four-gaiter better in tölt than a five-gaiter?
Yeah, for Martin, yes.
I think it's no. Yeah. Like I would say often I like the tölt of four-gaiters more, but we have some very modern five-gaiters that can look like four-gaiters when they're tölting. So I think. There, of course, it's also just a preference of what you like. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what Ragga has to say.
And what's the difference? I mean, people here in the live stream who are new in the Icelandic horse world, or they only own a four-gaiter or only a five-gaiter. What's the main difference in tölt on five-gaiters and on four-gaiters? So Ragga, it's your turn.
Oh, it's a big question. I think, of course, it's a little bit, every horse has its tölt quality, and some horses has really good tölt, even though they are five-gaiters. So, but I agree with Martin. I think it's most of the time the four-gaiters are more like, they are easier to be really collected and go fast at the same time, because of course the five-gaiters can start to mix a little bit the beat in the fast tempo, not all of them, but some of them, and they can be a little bit harder to get really collected in the slow tempo as well. So, and I think maybe it's something about the building that they have a little bit stiffer, they can be a little bit more stiffer to be able to reach the pace. I don't know, I don't want to go into that, but
are you scared of the five-gate riders right now?
Seems like that.
No, but I think it's just, it can't be like, we have a really good fights that have been really successful in tölt. So I think it's, every horse has, can be different.
Yeah, and that's what I meant also. Like, I think the
Yeah.
more modern fights, they have really good tölt. And when you talk about really good tölt, it's also, we also had to remember, like, to have good tölt and have a lot of tölt in our horses. We can't breathe out the pace. For example, like, I love riding four-getters and, work a little bit for my tölt, but I do understand that we need pace as well to breed the good tölt. It's a part of it.
Yeah.
So like, there you can also say, like, yeah, is it better tölt? If we would only breed on the horses I like to tölt, we would probably not have the nice tölt in the end. So I don't know. It's a very open question. But for me, like, just really easy, four-getters, do they have better tölt than five-getters? Like, in most cases, for me, yes.
Okay, and Ragga, for you, what's your answer?
I think
Yeah.
I think
guys.
it depends on the horse. Maybe I have also a little bit more experience with really good four-getters than really good five-getters. But I think, a horse like Hrannar from Flugumýri, I mean, he's this amazing five-getter, but he still has amazing tölt. So,
yeah.
I mean, we have, But I think I can say the same as Martin. I have more experience to have really good tölt horses that are four-getters.
Okay, so maybe the next time I'm gonna invite other people. No, it's really interesting and inspiring, and I hope it's really inspiring for other people as well to listen to you guys and to watch your Instagram profile and interviews on my account, because I do really like it, and this is why I invited you. And so it's 1 minute after 9 p.m. in Germany. So in Iceland, I think it's only 1 minute after 8 p.m. So guys, I would like to say thanks a lot. So maybe we're gonna just do it again if you would like to. We can discuss afterwards. Any last words you want to say to the people who are listening right here?
I just think, like, for all the things that we were talking about tölt, we are always coming into the use of the seat, or just your body. So get more aware of it. Know, like, how much and how little you need, and that can change from different horses. So if you start with that, you're on a good way, I think.
Ragga, your last words?
Yeah, I think he just said it. It was I think this is important. So I just agree with Martin.
All about the seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of other things as well, but I think that's a good basic. It should be a good basic. The seat should be, like, really important and good basic, and very often it's not.
Thanks a lot, you guys, for your time. I'm wishing you a great evening. Hope to talk to you soon again. And
yes,
bye bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.